Yet, despite my constant worrying, the next morning comes inevitably just as it always does. Far too small, far too insignificant to halt the rising of the sun. My minuscule worries have no bearings on the rest of the world. And so life keeps on going. I started cleaning around my grandparents' home, dusting the shelves and wiping under tables. Probably it's because I wanted to help my grandparents, but it would be a lie if I said I didn't have any ulterior motives. I'm just stalling for time. Doing this because I don't know what else to do. As such, it feels a little awkward when my grandfather compliments me for being so helpful. It sure does feel refreshing after a good tidy up. Thank you, lad. Oh, you're welcome. There's no need for the formalities with me, silly. You're real help. Of course, I was going to clean all this up eventually myself, but this gives me less work to do. Oh, it's no trouble. You know something? Though you look so little, she was right. Really have grown up to be a fine man, haven't you? Guess looks aren't everything. Well, I don't know about that. And modest too. That's an important asset. Make you popular with the ladies. I'm not that popular. Well, you don't see many men quite as modest as me, I'll mark you that. In terms of modesty, I really am the best. That's why she loves me, because I am so modest. Grandpa loves clapping a hand on my shoulder. Now, can everybody stop hitting me? Poor shoulders are gonna be black and blue by the end of this trip. But you're getting there, so don't give up hope. Every little bit helps. Yes. Are you getting tired of cleaning though? I know, I don't mind. I'm happy to help. Really. Really? I'm surprised. Why? I thought you wanted to go off and see your friends. Don't want to be sharp in here with us old folks, do you? Isn't the air in here a little too musty? Grandpa smiles and yet, but he's trying to be kind and starting to feel anxious. Does he want me out of the house? No, that can't be it. I know I can be annoying when I put my mind to it, but I kind of irritated my own grandparents that much after only one day. He's just concerned about me. He knows my time here is short, so he wants me to make the most of it. I remember, Moo said she had to work at her parents' cafe until 12:30 p.m. today. If I went to visit her now, she'd still be working. We could go and tease her a little. Maybe I could ask her to serve me like a real maid? Oh my god. It might be fun to tease a Moo since she's always poking fun at me. Do say an eye for an eye after all? That seems very tempting. Not that I want to pull out one of Moo's eyes. And then there's Noelle. She asked me if we wanted to go out yesterday. Maybe I could go by her house and see if she's there. That might be a good idea. I kept in touch with Moo via letters. Didn't speak a single word to Noelle during my 2 years in the city. I have a lot to catch up on. What should I do? Guys, tempting to go see a Moo and give her a taste of her own medicine. Yeah, the temptation is too great. I have to go visit a Moo. So I make up my mind. I feel a little guilty about not going to see Noelle. The opportunity to tease a Moo just this once is something I cannot pass up. Yes. At least we're on agreement with that. Made fun of me for most of my life. This might be my only chance to return the favor. Even if it does feel a little underhanded. I mean, Moo would probably do the same to us, given the chance. Just you wait a Moo. You're going to get what's coming to you. Going to be my maid and I'm going to make you feed an ice cream sundae from a silver spoon. This is going to be great. The moment I catch myself laughing out loud. What am I doing? Face instantly turns red. Why would I do something like that? Why would I even think about something like that? I've gone mad with power. I mean, for just this once, I think we can let it slide. That's right, lad. You have to dream big to win big. To make matters worse, grandfather overheard me. Of course he overheard me. Be stupid to think otherwise. I was laughing in a rather maniacal manner, after all. I wouldn't be surprised if half the village were privy to my deviant desires. Please just ignore that. Even when I want to embarrass Amu, in the end, the only person I can embarrass is myself. Learn my lesson this time. Instead of entertaining any grandiose notions of cycling all the way into town by myself, I instead walk at a more leisurely pace. And so it's still exhausting. I just stop and rest several times at the side of the road to recover my breath. All the sunshine attracts irritating insects. Flies and mosquitoes buzz around my flustered forehead, my exposed forearms. Get away. Heart feels sweaty. Joints are achy. Mom's spaghetti. I really am getting unfit. Gotten too used to taking the train everywhere. Be so much more convenient if there were public transportation here too. There is a bus that runs between the village and the town, but it only runs once every 3 hours. Not to mention, from what I recall, the bus is old and rickety and smells kind of funny. Pants on the seat are ugly too, so sitting in that bus makes you feel like you've been sucked into some kind of nightmarish kaleidoscope world. Doesn't help that the roads here are all in dire need of repairing, are filled with bumps and buttholes. After walking a little further, I found myself back in the town. Small-scale suburban space with modern buildings and actual convenience stores. Used to walk here with Noel back in the day, solely just say to a surprising lot of different flavored jelly you can buy here. Cheap jelly was probably her favorite food. Looking back on it now, it stays feel like they passed by a long time ago. At any rate, I need to keep moving. It's 11:30 a.m. now, and I want to catch Amu while she's still working. Have an hour less, so I'm sure I'll be fine, but smile to myself secretly, my exhaustion fading. Getting her to wait on me might be a little bit of fun. I was hoping she'd be out in a maid outfit. Hello, sir. Will you be dining alone today? Is there anywhere in particular you'd like to... Oh. It's just you. And you were doing so well too. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? I mean, for a few moments I thought you were genuinely pleased to see me. Moose shrugs. More for you. More for you then. More for me indeed. Not like I need to pretend to be super incredibly, deliriously happy to be working here around you, Chan. Haha, I'm glad you feel like you can be honest with me, but what? Not like you're paying for my smile or anything. You got no room to complain. You sound so grumpy, I actually take a step back in alarm. Did I do something wrong? It's not that. It's just... appreciate you coming to see me, Chun. Really, I do. But my parents said I'm not allowed to leave until 12:30 p.m. I know that. Miss Scowls. Then why are you here? Did you come to make fun of me or something? Because I have work to do and you don't. I flinch. That might possibly have been something to do with it, but... You take us so close to me, glowering. Huh? That really the reason? He really does look mad. No. I just wanted to try eating here myself, you know? Moo continues to look unimpressed. Otherwise she might gut me. Again, maybe some foreshadowing for later. Aren't any sharp knives around here, are they? Maybe in the kitchen, but is Amu allowed to go in there? Of course. A stunning lack of foresight. We must have access to the kitchen. She's one of the waitresses. If I don't say something smooth, I might get stabbed in the eye. Or eyes. Both of them. One with a fork, the other a knife. Very life might be on the line here. Again, might be some foreshadowing, but... I wanted to see you so much that I just couldn't help myself. Something I think of saying. However, isn't that the level of flattery just a little bit too advanced for me? Oh, come on. If you're not gonna say it, why give me the option? Don't think I could pull it off. Not even if I practiced in front of a mirror for a century. I'm just no good at saying coin lines like that. Besides, saying something like that to Amu, who's been my best friend for so long, just makes me feel dirty. So I don't say that. Instead, I hang my head and mutter some vague apologies for my impertinence. I realize I must look pathetic, and I'm sure that's what Amu's thinking as she watches my pitiful performance. What kind of weird person apologizes to a member of staff for going to eat at their establishment anyway? Might as well apologize for being born. I mean, I wouldn't put it past you to apologize for that either. I mean, you kind of did it back at the antique store, being born a man, so... jeez, it's fine, Acton. Don't make such a big deal out of it. Freaking me out. Look up at Amu meekly. But you seem so annoyed, so I kinda got worried. It's fine, it's fine. It's just kind of irritating working at a place like this. You're the only person who had the brilliant idea to drop by while I'm working solely to make fun of me, you know? Make a little like this, surprise. Who isn't usually a person who lets little things get to her, but she sounded exceptionally bitter right now. Really? Who did that? Some annoying kid at school. Annoying kid? You remember, don't you? Irritating girl with the blonde hair and that I'm so much better than you attitude. One with the princess laugh, who thought she was marrying Antoinette or something. Huh. I think I remember a person like that. Wasn't her name something like Ari? Yeah, I was about to say, isn't it? Did we kind of meet her sister earlier? Moose snorts. I don't care what her name is. The girl is dead to me. But I thought you two used to be friends. What happened? She went too far, that's what. But too far. Moose glares at me. Whole body tenses. I have to remember that knife. She may or may not be able to smuggle from the kitchen. Can't forget about the knife. Anyway, that girl really pissed me off, doing the same thing you're doing. Came in here and ordered an omelette. He complained that it was cold and made it take it back to the kitchen 3 times until she was happy. Sounds like a real battle of wits. It pissed me off so much I was literally this close to punching her in the face. At Moo's angry outburst, the table was see a whole wholesome-looking family, mother and father, and their 2 small daughters turned to look at Amu in alarm. Hey, Amu, I understand this has annoyed you, but maybe you shouldn't talk about it so loudly. And why not? Made me mad. A right to it. I understand that, but what? But you're disturbing the customers? Amu pauses. She turns around to look around her. Does so her eyes widen in surprise. Guess she got so caught up in telling her tale that just as she forgot about where she was. Suddenly shamefaced, Amu flushes red. In a very uncharacteristic way, she bows to the offended family, hands clasped together tightly at her front. I'm sorry. I forgot myself for a little while, but it won't happen again. I promise. With that, Moo grabs hold of my arm so hard she always twisted and marches me off to a table located near the back of the cafe. I wonder if she's trying to hide me away from the other customers, like I'm some kind of embarrassing skin disease. Now if I was a skin disease, I wonder what kind I'd be. When she sits down at my table, she glares at me, slamming her hands on the tabletop with a thud. This is all your fault. At least she remembers to vent under her breath this time. Never knew it was possible for people to shout politely, but Moo has just proven me wrong. Girl really is full of surprises. This doesn't make her accusation any less frightening, though. How is it my fault? Because she made me mad. But I didn't make you swear in front of the family? Might as well have done. Now they're going to complain to my parents. Gonna get scolded again. Do you lose your temper often? Amu glares at me, face working through a variety of different emotions, before she settles on anger mixed with a faint hint of embarrassment. That's none of your business. I take your menu, decide what you eat, and get out. She shoves the menu at me forcefully. Then, red-faced, she turns on her heels and marches off, slamming her feet down far harder than necessary with each step. A sigh. Guess I'm not going to get served by cute maid after all. Yeah, we kind of ruined that. Oh, this is really good. Make contented noises under my breath as I eat the dessert I ordered from Amu. Ice cream and waffles really are delicious. I've been feeling particularly mean. Maybe I would have ordered green tea ice cream since it's Amu's favorite. It really would piss her off, but however, mine means more to me than that. Not about to give it all up simply so I can feel superior to Amu for 2 seconds. Yeah, maybe it's for the best until she's gotten over this shitty day that she's been having. It'd be pointless anyway, since I don't even like green tea ice cream. Let's just hope that she didn't poison the food. It'd be just like that phrase Noah's mother always used to say. What was it again? Something about cutting off your nose? I far prefer strawberry and chocolate ice cream. Folks like Moo say are childish. Like she has a right to talk, hear how immature she can be. People say it's girls who like sweets and girls who have extra stomachs for desserts. I like sweets way more than Amu does. In addition to liking green tea ice cream, she also has a soft spot for herbal tea and bitter chocolate. It's kind of depressing that she can even beat me at something as simple and subjective as favorite foods. Tastes are definitely more adult than mine. Her crafty Amu is always one step ahead. But still, I won't let something like that deter me. No rule that says guys can't like sweets, so let's dig in. Thanks for the food. Take another spoonful of ice cream. Incredibly sweet treat melts across my tongue, cool and refreshing, making me shiver with happiness. One house clapped against my cheek, the other holding my spoon, drift away into a dreamy, sweet-induced stupor. Pushing me bustle about the cafe while I eat. Even though it's only a small cafe, it's a lot busier than I expected. New customers arrive periodically, most of them families with young children. Smiling Amu shows them to their seats. Then she takes their orders, delivers the orders to the kitchen, and returns with their food and drink. Sounds simple enough, but I see a crack beginning to form in Amu's smile as the time goes by. Small child knocks over their strawberry milkshake and starts to cry. Moves sent over to the table to comfort the wailing child and mop up the spillage. Then she has to bend down and sweep up the shards of glass on the floor. Groovy teenage boy, probably a little older than me, start hollering. Yeah, it's only a matter of time before patrons like that enter the store. Demanding Amu's attention as though she is their personal servant. Look at her unpleasantly. in any way that makes me feel uncomfortable. Other waitresses, meanwhile, regard Amu scornfully, lips pursed. If she makes a mistake or lets her smile slip for just a moment, they start reprimanding her and rolling their eyes. Can't hear what they're saying, but I do know it's enough to make Amu's face flush. It's hot too. And the cafe is rather small and so many people are packed into it, the hair is heavy and stuffy. I feel hot just sitting down, slowly eating my ice cream, fanning myself at the menu. Don't know how Amu must feel, walking back and forth, taking orders and delivery foods, trying to attend to the crying children and self-important customers. Forehead is flushed, pauses to catch her breath, and one of her fellow waitresses berates her for slacking off. Maybe being a waitress isn't as easy as I thought. There are a lot more demanding customers and noisy kids than I thought there'd be. Couldn't imagine ever talking to a waitress like some of the customers are doing, so I never realized how rude some people can be. Must have underestimated the average person's capacity for casual cruelty. So I feel a little guilty for opposing on Amu when she's already so busy. Always thought she was exaggerating when she told me how much she hated her job, but now I can understand her feelings a little. It must be stressful. Wouldn't want to do it. In my mind, I start to cheer her on. You can do it, Amu. Do your best. And, please don't hit anyone. I finish up my ice cream. By this point, it's almost completely melted. Also distracted watching Amu, I forgot to eat it quickly enough. Glanced at the clock on the wall, spoon in my mouth. It's almost 12 PM now. Alright, Akchan, shall we go? Suddenly, with a loud thud, Amu slams her palms of her hands down against the table. And now, an empty plate jumps to attention as I do. Amu sounds overly enthusiastic, while a smile on her face. Guess she's relieved that she finally finished her shift, although look at Amu's beamy face, then back at the clock, then back to Amu again. Something isn't right here. You know she's acting like she's already finished, in actuality, it's only 12 PM. Yeah, so you still have half an hour left, don't you? Amu rolls her eyes. Half an hour? Who cares? No big deal. But I don't want you to get into trouble with your parents. Amu blinks. Huh? Yeah, sure, they might be annoyed. Then you shouldn't go early. Listen to this, Akchan. If I had to stay in here another second, I would be so pissed off I'll accidentally end up spilling hot tea over somebody's lap again. Again? You mean it's happened before? Only once or twice. And only people who really deserved it. This one guy grabbed my ass, Akchan. My ass. Okay, well, fair enough reaction. That is pretty bad. Maybe that guy did deserve it then. Yeah, exactly. Now, I need to get out of here. Go let off some steam or else. Go on. Make a small noise to protest as Amu grabs hold of my hand and drags me to my feet. Of course, this small noise goes unheard. What matter if Amu had heard me anyway? Didn't exactly make an intelligent counter-argument. Amu's so stubborn. Really is impossible to argue with her. I'd have soon like trying to reason with an oncoming train. Amu leads me out by the hand into the street. She walks so quickly I start to feel out of breath. She only slows down when we're a decent distance away from her parents' cafe. This ought to be far enough away. She lets go of my hand. Bent over, breathing heavily, trying to fill my lungs with air. Sharp pain in my side, as though my flesh is being sawn into with a knitting needle. I know people say exercise is meant to be good for you, but right now it feels as though it's killing me. I really am unhealthy. Wow, you really are unhealthy. How did you know? That's what I was thinking. Can you read minds? Maybe it's something like that. How terrifying. You demon. Maybe I am. really do wonder sometimes. Anyway, I thought of a really good idea. Anyway, I know something we can do. Good idea. On Amu, this idea might be anything from rock climbing to robbing a bank. What is it? Not anything illegal, is it? No. Something even more exciting. Even more exciting than robbing a bank? Naturally. Something that'll be good for you and me. Huh? I can't think of anything that would be... Hey, it's obvious. I need to get back into shape and I want to let off some steam. It's perfect. Moo grins. Stars in her eyes. Practically entire galaxies. Whole face is shining. Getting a bad feeling about this. Noise surrounds us. People walk back and forth, baseball bats in hand. Almost all of them are wearing sports gear, faces flushed with sweat. Nearly all the people here are guys too. Very tall, very muscular guys. Exact opposite of me. Moose strolls along confidently, head held high, arms swinging loosely by his sides. If it weren't for a pink ponytail blowing up and down at each step, she'd probably look like the main character from Western. One of her baseball bat in her right hand, gripping it so tightly her knuckles had turned white. Seems ready to swing it in an interlooper on a split second's notice. I, on the other hand, am definitely not so cool. Don't really like places like this, but as long as Amu continues to walk in front of me, shielding me, I think I'll be okay. As long as we don't get in the way of the bat. If anything bad happens and we get into a scuffle with one of those guys, I'm sure Amu could protect me. I should have known you'd come somewhere like this. Of course, I love these places. Don't you? Well, they're interesting. Interesting? This isn't a school trip, I guess. Don't you just love it? The thrill, the exhilaration, the challenge. If I wanted a challenge, I'd far rather try to balance a spoon on the end of my nose for 5 minutes. I guess I'm just unadventurous. These places are kind of fun, I guess. If you're actually able to hit the ball. Well, don't worry if you can't. Even swinging the bat around will give you some sort of exercise, right? Thanks. Glad you have faith in my skills. Mutters under my breath sarcastically. Mood grins. It'll be alright, Action. Don't worry. Don't need to be super muscular to enjoy this. It's a popular form of family entertainment. Seems that Amu has discovered this source of my worries after all, even though I didn't tell her. Really is sneaky. Maybe I'm just transparent. Now there's a thought. My dad used to take me here all the time when I was little. Even young kids are welcome here. But everyone here is so much bigger than me. They all look so sporty. Don't worry. You get scared, you can just hide behind my back, okay? With that, Moo gives me a wink that would make anybody's heart skip a beat. Several beats. Why does the Moo always get to act so cool? Not fair. Even though I've been to this place a few times before with a Moo, still a little unsure about it. Even though I am wearing a helmet. Activities like this, which carry a large risk of being struck in the head by a spinning baseball, need every ounce of protection I can get. That's why I'm thankful for this helmet, even though it looks pretty uncool. It's the helmet that you're given alongside with the bat at the counter. All the signs around the room say you're meant to wear for your own safety. Helmet that Moon discarded the moment it was handed to her. That's not, wow, that looks so lame. Yeah, this can't bode well. Are you sure you're not going to wear your helmet? No, why should I? You might get hurt. No way. Are you actually implying I'll miss any shots, Action? It's always a possibility. There's always the possibility I might get hit by a car one day, but I don't allow myself to think about silly things like that. That's the secret to my success. Maybe you should write a book about it. Maybe I should. But I still think you can take some precautions to stop stuff like that from happening. You know, just in case. That's boring. I want to live in the moment. If I can keep thinking about the future and all the thousands of depressing things that could happen but probably won't, I'd never be able to get up in the morning. Gotta think positive. I get it. I just don't want you to get hurt. I'm sure I'll be fine. I've come here loads of times in the past, ever since I was little. Couldn't even hold the bat. I don't need a helmet. If you're sure, I am sure. Sure than I'll ever be. Moo grins and cracks her knuckles together. Right. I don't like it. I don't like play the cracking sounds. Shall we start? Here we go, I guess. Make our way into our own cage, confining almost claustrophobic area by tall chain link fences. Moo stands there confidently, without fear. He faces down the automatic baseball dispenser machine with the cold, hard eyes of a killer. Again, is that foreshadowing something? Seconds pass. Stance shifts slightly. Right leg bending at the knee, grip on the bat tightening. Watching from the sidelines, waiting, watching. Then, fast as a bullet. Moo bat collides squarely with the baseball, timing onto it at the perfect angle. Or at least what I thought is the perfect angle. Since I don't know anything about baseball other than it's best to hit the ball with the bat. Can't be sure, but the end result speaks for itself. Baseball goes flying. Sails in a neat arc through the air, splitting through the sky with immense speed. Finally, it loses momentum and drops back down to the ground like a burnt-up comet falling through the night sky. Hits the fence at the very back of the pitch, the thud and falls back to the floor, rolling to a halt. Yeah, home run! Moo celebrates by punching a fist in the air, self-satisfied look on her face. Achan, did you see that? Did I do great? Looks excited. Whole face is lit up with a bright smile. That expression really is captivating. You're not the only one enthralled by her either. See, several of the guys nearby have set down their bats and are looking in Moo's direction, staring at her in awe. Guess it's reasonably unusual for girls to come here to begin with, but must be even rarer for girls to be quite as good as Amu is. You're probably better than most of the guys. Yeah, that was really great. Of course it was. I'm the best. Told you I didn't need a helmet, Achan. And then she sticking out her tongue at me and triumphantly, Moo turns around. Just in time. Though she's timed it, another ball flies at her move on the machine. Once more, she's stance is perfect. Grip on the bat is tight, eyes narrowed with anticipation. Grin is cocky, self-confident. She's entirely at ease. Take that. Turn her head back and watch the ball, transfixed as it soars through the air. Goes up so high, it's hard to believe the amount of strength that must have been poured into a single hit. I know I would never want to be on the receiving end of a blow like that. Again, is that maybe foreshadowing? To an average person like me, it seems almost incredible. I doubt I can pull off a feat that impressive once, let alone several times in quick succession. Minutes sail by as Amu continues to hit volley after volley of baseballs into the air. Each hit is just like the last. Form is consistently perfect. Atmosphere starts to get tense as I wonder whether Amu will make a mistake. She'll slip up and let by a single ball. but it isn't to be. Hits land every single time. All other activity seems to be suspended for those precious 10 minutes or so. Everybody turns to watch her. They'll be enchanted, toppling under a spell like dominoes, one after the other. Pretty youthful high school girl drenched in sweat, and she continues to hit home run after home run. It's almost like something from a sports manga. And that's 100. A loud thud, Moo's bat collides with the ball. She sends it soaring up to meet the ceiling. Laughing just as usual, Moo turns about, a smile on her face. Even though her forehead is sweaty, her face flushed from exertion, looks truly happy, like an artist who finally painted the last stroke of their masterpiece. Beside her, Moo stretches, raising her arms above her head, cracking her joints at her wrists and elbows. Then she throws her baseball bat carelessly onto the floor with a thud, comes to sit by my side. Aren't you gonna keep going? You look like you're having fun. No, I don't think so. So I was gonna hit 100 and I hit 100, so that's that. That was pretty impressive. Didn't know you had that much willpower. Maybe not when it comes to doing things that are genuinely useful, but I can be surprisingly stubborn sometimes. I don't think your stubbornness is that surprising. Moo giggles. Sounds a little out of breath. I think he made some fans out there. The other guys seem pretty impressed. Well, it's not like I dislike the attention. Being respected is way more fun than being made fun of and taken for granted. These words, a dark cloud passes over Moo's face. Are you still hung up about your job? Of course I am. That's why I started coming here more often. Helps wake off the stress. Just imagine each boy here is a human head, you see? Well, as long as you don't actually hit any human heads at work, that's fine. But what about outside of work? I do my best. Feel like I should say something to her. Something to comfort her, or congratulate her, maybe. But what? Oh, okay, more choices. Yeah, I think you're really amazing. Huh? Moo stares at me in shock. Even though her face is already flushed from all the exercise, I think it looks even pinker now. Well, if Moo's face is pink, that's nothing compared to how flustered I'm feeling. I mean, I'm sorry if that was too forward or anything. I think it's admirable. Admirable? Me? Now Moo doesn't look confused and flustered but incredulous. Might as well have exploded or revealed myself as the second coming of Christ, given how wide her eyes are. Acton, are you feeling okay? Is your holding on a little too tight or something? No, I don't think so. I feel fine. Really? Are you sure it's not cutting off the circulation to your brain? No? At least I don't think so. Are you sure? I'd like you to compliment me so much. I know, maybe it seems a little unexpected, but really, I was just thinking that you're quite admirable. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm nothing special. It's funny. Before Moo was so jubilant at her batting victory, making all sorts of claims about how amazing she was. But now I'm actually agreeing with her. She looks unsure and embarrassed. For a straightforward, no-nonsense kind of gal like Amu, isn't this a bit too contrary? I just mean, I think you're a very determined person. When you want to do stuff, you really go for it. Wish I could be more like you. Oh, it's nothing special. It's just a silly task I set myself for fun. And if it is silly, you still do it. Well, I'm flattered, Acton, but there's no sense in just looking up to me. Huh? What do you mean? I mean, if you want to do something, you just gotta get along and do it. No sense in idolizing somebody from afar and thinking Oh, that's so amazing, but I can never be like that. When you can do anything on your own, got to have more faith in yourself. These words poke me up. Almost like she is coaching me. She seems to realize this herself because she starts to laugh. Look at me, talking like a self-help book. That was so uncool. I didn't think so. Uncomfortable feeling suddenly starts to build up in the pit of my stomach, but I try to push past it. Ignore it. And know what Amu just told me? Need to make active changes in my life, or else everything could remain the same. Thought that was what I wanted. Thought I was afraid of change. But what doesn't work like that? Well, won't stop turning just for me. I need to start taking some steps of my own. I think you're really cool, Amu, and I really am grateful. I became a friend. One of the best friends I've ever had. Aw, kinda sweet. I look at Amu from underneath my bangs, shyly. Cheeks feel hot and my hands are trembling, but I don't back down. Don't apologize or start excuses, even hang my head. Instead, I decide to stand by my word. Try to be brave. Silence stretches out between us. I can hear the sounds of other people batting, bats striking baseballs as they fly through the air. But that all seems very far away. Almost on a different planet altogether. It's Amu who speaks first. Thank you, Achan. I really appreciate it. Even if it was over the top and a little too sappy for this rotten girl's taste. I know, maybe I'm a little too sappy, but it's what I really feel. Well, that's good to know. Glad we've been able to become so close again, even though it's not been so long. Even though you might not have realized it, I was a little worried. Even you get worried? Of course. I continue to push on ahead, because that's all I can do. But anyway, Achan. Yes? What is it? Who leans forward? She seems a little calmer now. Smile is devilish, challenging. Uh-oh. An expression that makes my heart flutter. Said you wanted to do your best. Yes, I want to do my best. You really want to do your best? Yes, you really do. Well then. Uh-oh. Arthur panted a creepy laugh, perfect for Halloween. Oh god, why are you gonna drag me into this time? Who gets to her feet dramatically? Jabs a baseball bat in front of my face, stopping it just inches away from the tip of my nose. Then get out there and hit some home runs, alright? Let's go. Thank you for humoring me, Achan. It's alright. I had fun too. Even though you only hit about 3 balls, 3 is better than nothing. It's probably an improvement over the last time I went with you. Well, at least I can admire your tendency. Even though it all seemed so hopeless, you stuck it out until the very end. I thought you'd break down crying, beat the floor with your fists and shout, "This is all useless." Hey, I've never done that once in my life. Well, you know, there's a first time for everything. To us bigger companionably as we make our way back home. After we played around in the batting center, we ended up doing some window shopping. More like Amu dragged me around from shop to shop, till my feet felt like they were going to fall off, and then we got something to eat. It's pretty late now. Getting pretty late, and the winter's colder than it was earlier. You could have gone a ride back with Amu's dad, which would have spared us the need to walk, but Amu flatly refused. And probably for the best. You want to save our eardrums? Said she didn't want to go back with her dad, since he would just take the opportunity to lecture her about her unacceptable work ethic. Seriously, there's always drawing to me about how important the cafe is to him. How I need to get my act together. At some point you get tired of hearing the same thing over and over, you know? I do know Amu's dad only has her best interests at heart, but I also know he's a very loud man who loves the sound of his own voice. Arguing with him is often impossible. Yeah, must be a pain. Really is. No matter what he says, I'm not going to run the business for him when he retires. I absolutely refuse to live a life already planned out for me. Does he want you to take it over from him? Yeah, but I don't wanna. Doesn't sound like much fun. What do you want to do instead then? She has to think for a few seconds before she comes up with an answer. Professional baseball player? I think he could do it. Definitely got the skills. Who knows? Maybe a kindly passing talent scout will come here someday. Save me from my life of drudgery. Like Cinderella? Exactly. Only with more baseball. Of course, Dad wouldn't be too happy about that. Didn't know you cared all that much about what your parents thought. Well, it's complicated. Maybe strokes her shoulders, slightly bitter smile on her face. Of course I care about them. I want to make them proud. Glad for everything they've done for me. But at the same time, what they want for me and my future, what I want for my future, are totally different things. You mean you don't want to stay in this village? Hell no. I want to move out as soon as possible. But do you like it here? Scenery, the familiarity, quiet. Dullness, the loneliness, the distance from the rest of civilization. Yeah, there's so much to like. But it's a place where we grew up. Doesn't that count for something? Well, of course memories are important. Had a lot of fun together with you too. But, you know, I've been thinking, maybe this place only seemed like fun when we were little because we didn't know any better. What do you mean? Well, kind of hard to explain. Not so good at exploring or explaining difficult things, but I think when you were a kid, everything is a lot bigger and a lot more exciting because you don't know very much about the world. Simple things like playing in the forest or climbing trees seemed like really big adventures back then. Then, when you get older, you realize that the tiny bit of land that you lived on isn't the entirety of the world. Start wanting to see more of it. You know, when I heard that you were leaving to go live in the city, I was jealous of you. And I was terrified. Remember that? I think I got a little annoyed. Something I really wanted to do, and you didn't seem to appreciate your chance at all. Well, I would have talked with you if I could. Not that I always wanted to go. You know, you're far more girly than I am, Achan. I'm not girly. Yeah, you are. You're far cuter than me. I'm not cute. You're so cute. So cute, it's unbelievable. Never seen anybody as little and delicate before. Could totally be some kind of teen idol. I bet you have so many fans. But I don't want fans. And why would anyone like me anyway? It's not like I'm interesting or anything. You are. You're humble and shy. And you have such a cute little baby face. Grew in poorly suppressed pain as the baby begins to pinch my cheeks with a thumb and pointer finger. Can everybody stop assaulting me? That hurts. Fans will hurt you far more. They're swarming around you like flies and try to cut off locks of your hair or pieces of your flesh and creepy sadistic collections. Again, is this some more foreshadowing of what's to come? This is just training for that inevitability. Isn't gonna happen. If it does, I'll become your manager. Know exactly how to market a pretty face like yours. Making this sound far sillier than it actually is. So stop teasing me. Two of us mess around like this for a little while. Me pinching my cheeks like Mocky while I try to throw off. After a few minutes of intense struggling, me finally relents in a torture and releases my cheeks, giggling like a demon the whole time. I pound and rub my cheeks. They sting, especially when the cold wind blows across them. Barely going red too. You're so mean sometimes. That's because you're so cute. I couldn't help myself. And don't blame me for it. I am the victim here. Maybe it was revenge then. Though Moo is still giggling, words sound strangely dark. And here it goes. Slightly too cold to be completely playful. Hand pressed against my swollen cheek, blink at a Moo in surprise. Revenge? What for? Well, you know, appreciating your good fortune. Been whining about it to me for so long, of course. And about moving to the city? Yeah. Moo's voice trails off. Small sigh, she looks down at the floor. Playfulness from before is finished altogether. Don't really like it here. Getting a little sick seeing the exact same thing day in and day out, you know? I like the familiarity. I think the city's too crowded. That's exactly the kind of thing I love. I want to be a part of the crowd. I want to go somewhere with lots of people where I can discover all kinds of new things. I want to be able to wear the new fashion seen in the magazines. I want to try all the interesting foods I never had before. I want to go and have some fun and exciting experiences. I've never been ice skating to a theme park or seen any of the bands I like live. Never had an exciting encounter with guys, like I read in those advice columns in girls' magazines. Never had the chance. When Moo finally reaches the end of her tirade, she looks exhausted. She sighs. I wonder how long she's been holding these thoughts inside. This lingering resentment held against her hometown just keep growing and growing as the days go by. Standing in the middle of a dusty, rarely used road, which only serves to illustrate her point, how isolated this village is. With her hands clasped into fists at her side, Moo lets her head hang. Figure casts a long, gloomy shadow over the road. I want to go out into the world and have some fun. So stifling here. Everything always looks the same, day after day. I feel like I'm running out of things to do to keep me distracted. Like reaching 100 home runs? Yeah. Just another arbitrary goal I made to distract myself. Give myself something to do. Now that I've even done that, you're going to hit 100 more, right? It keeps me busy. And sure, I guess. Moo sighs. But really, even though all this stuff upset me a little, it didn't used to be so bad. I could deal with it. Why is she talking in past tense? What do you mean you could deal with it? I mean, this is gonna sound kinda corny, but Moo smiles sheepishly and hooks her hands together at her front rocking back and forth on her heels. Well, I wasn't alone. You lived here too. Hey, is that Tigger? Huh? Oh yes. Yes it is. Oh, Tiger, if you whatever pronunciation you want. Wow, she really has gone big. That's because Dad spoils her. I keep telling him not to, but he just doesn't listen. I bet Dad would do that to me too if I'd let him. He loves feeding people. It's like he's obsessed. Not the smell, stupidly despite myself as Tigger, Moo's cat, elbows himself against my side. It's been 2 years since I visited Amu's home, yet despite that, the cat still seems to remember me, even though the cat itself, or herself should I say, looks totally different. Tiger I remember was slender, good-looking, elegant feline. Really has let herself go lately. She won't be able to make a career as a model now, huh? That might be true, but at least she's finally starting to suit her name. I guess she grew into it. That's only on the outside. On the inside, she's still the same dozy cat she used to be. Does she still run around the circle chasing dust? Of course, but not as much. Too fat to partake in such rigorous exercise for too long. Now right, Tiger. Moo giggles voice sings song as she strokes Tiger's side. Tiger sleeks into fur, marked here and there with white stripes. It's as distinctive as always, indication of how she got her name. Let her yawn, I try to stifle it with my hands. Doesn't work. Amu still hears me, as she always does when I make any kind of embarrassing sound. Grinning, she gently points me in the cheek. Sleepy? Just a little. It was a tiring day. What? Really? He draws out his syllables in disbelief, a big smile decorating her face. How can you be sleepy at this hour? Not in elementary school anymore. Well, I'm not, but you are. Eh? What do you mean by that? Prod. Moo's fingers sink deep into my cheek. I mean, you're still attending class with 5-year-olds. You study in the same classroom as your little sister. Just because the school here is so small, after you moved to the city, you suddenly developed all these fancy airs and graces. Not like you're smarter than me or anything. That hurts. So does life, Ak-chan. This is a profound lesson. But it wouldn't have to hurt if you stopped prodding me. Life doesn't stop prodding you until you die, Ak-chan. Okay, fine. Moo relents, retracting her hand. This time she puts it to a better, more benevolent use, only stroking Tiger's fur as she continues to talk. Still, you can't be tired. Not even that late. I know, but we did do a lot of walking today. What kind of miserable excuse is that? You're born in the countryside, Ak-chan, even if you live in the city now. How could you let yourself get so weak-willed and lazy after only 2 years? Shame on you. Well, your dad did talk to me for a long time earlier. Not sure I'd get tired after all that. Well, I can't argue with that. Dad is quite the character. Indeed. If you don't take the initiative and ski yourself when you're with my family, you'll get stuck with them until Christmas. But I thought it would look bad if I just ignored them. You gotta be strong. So polite, Ak-chan. Probably think somebody if they started tearing out your fingernails. Probably. Moo giggles. Really though, I think you're being very rude, Ak-chan. Rude? How do you mean? How do you even think to be yet? I came to your rescue earlier, like a prince on a white horse. I still haven't even received a token of your gratitude. Are you saying that I'm a fair princess? Of course. You have to be. You're much prettier than I am. But, but, but I'm a guy. Who cares about that kind of stuff? You fit the role well, you should play it. But I don't want to play it. I feel like we had this conversation before. Don't worry, Action, don't worry. When you get kidnapped by any evil forces, I'll come to save you every time. You can rely on me. Don't get to saying these things for yourself like that. It isn't fair. How is it that Amu can say such corny lines and still sound cool? Yet, if I tried to do the same thing, I'd just sound ridiculous. It might be some kind of natural, innate talent. Can't imagine there are any self-help books or schools that would teach you these techniques. Oh, by the way, Akchan. I eye Amu dubiously. Yes? What is it? My extensive knowledge gleaned from being this girl's friend, I need to bet 500 yen she's going to ask me to do something embarrassing or demeaning. However, when I look at Amu's face, something strange about her expression. Something I've never expected to see. Amu is blushing. Actually blushing. Huh. No way. Such a rare, unusual moment. I almost feel like I could take a photo of it. Maybe I could use it later as blackmail material. Yeah, unless we want bad things to happen to us, probably not the best. If Amu has any male fans at school, I'm sure they'd pay a lot of money to put a candid shot like that. Well, lately I was just doing a bit of practicing, and you know I said I was learning to play the guitar, right? Oh? I do remember that, kinda. Yeah, I've been learning for maybe 5 or 6 months now. And even though I'm not that good, I want to show you. Moo looks at me hesitantly, gaze directed downwards, cheeks still light pink. You wouldn't mind? Would that be okay? You sound so unusually serious for once, yet so unsure of her own abilities. Makes my heart melt, just like Valentine's Day chocolates left on top of a heater. I think Amu would hit me if she heard that simile, though. Kind of cool person would do something like that, is what she'd probably say. And that look on her face really is adorable. Of course, you can play something. I'd love to hear it. Amu's face lights up. Reaching over, upper body looming over the sleeping tiger, she grabs a hold of my hands. When Amu gets excited like this, sometimes she starts to forget about personal boundaries. Not like I don't mind. Well, it's not like I mind, but maybe my heart does a little. Something stupid, like a heroine from a Victorian romance, flutters out at the slightest of provocations. Yay. Really, Action? You really want to hear? Yes, I do. Would have said it if I didn't. Well, that's true. But, not very good at this yet, okay? So please, don't be too harsh. Why does she look so shy? Does my ocean matter to her that much? Then by an extension of that logic, does it mean I matter to her? Because Moo draws her hands away from mine, stabbing a pointed finger at my face. You make fun of me playing, I'll get so pissed off I'll probably smack you on the head with my guitar. What a miserable way to die. For a few minutes there, I thought she was being earnest. She hadn't known she would say something violent and uncouth like that. It's just part of her personality, after all. Still, not like it's a bad thing. I don't think Amu could be Amu if she wasn't just a little bit imposing. After shooing a none too impressed tiger off her lap, Amu settles herself down on the bed, putting a guitar up on her lap. What she's doing right now, is it called tuning? Well, I don't know much about guitars, The only instrument I've ever played is the recorder in music class, back when I was a kid. I can tell that's old. Looks chipped in some places and has a few marks running across it. When Amu sees me looking, she offers an explanation. My parents wouldn't buy a guitar for me, even though I asked and asked. I had to buy it with my own money from working at the cafe. Since they're expensive, I couldn't afford a brand new one. Did you give it a name? Of course she has a name, Action. What kind of cruel parent would I be if I didn't give my baby a name? Baby? I mean, you wouldn't call your child a human creature, eh? And likewise, you wouldn't just call your guitar. That implies a lack of passion, commitment, feeling, fervor. Okay, I think I understand what you're trying to say. Who grins? Anyway, it's a name I came up with myself, after a great deal of thought. Tried really hard with this one. Oh, now I'm even more curious. Amu's name sensibilities aren't always the best. She usually goes for obvious choices such as Tiger for a cat. And it was Amu who gave me that unfortunate nickname at school too. Cockroach Kid. It really was very difficult being young. Thorny road of youth. Shudder just thinking about it. But Amu said that she tried hard to name her guitar, so surely it'll be something original and inspiring. Well, after a long and arduous process, this is what I finally decided. Amu smiles brightly. Whole face sparkles. She immerses herself entirely in her projects and devotes 100% of her time, effort, and energy into them. Doesn't give up even when it gets difficult. I think I need someone like her in my life. Even though she's my childhood friend, it would really be a lie to say that I really admire her. Ever since we were little kids, even though she often teased me and poked fun at me, I always thought she was so cool. I've been looking up to her all this time, haven't I? To call my cute new guitar Gichan. Then she spits out stuff like that. Luckily, aura around the mood dissipates at once. Rip. I can only stare at her in shock, stunned into silence. That's such an awful name. A few moments pass before finally she declares this. Okay, I am ready. So, who begins to play? Playing the guitar in the proper manner, or at least what I think is the proper manner, but she still looks a little uncomfortable, though she hasn't gotten used to it. Fingers move across the strings, forming chords with her fingers. She furrows her eyebrows. Looks awkward, though she doesn't quite know what she's doing. Rest like for her mood. Always seems so cool and in control. A degree of awkwardness can be heard in the notes that she produces. It don't sound so good. Yet, despite all that, despite her lack of finesse, she's still smiling. It's a smile that really carries the music, making it resonate deep within me. It's clear she's trying so hard. And even though it isn't turning out as she wants it to, she continues to smile. Never lets her smile waver, not even for a second. Continues to remain bright and sunny, illuminating her face. That's because Amu is an amazing person. Back to the batting center, she made hitting all those home runs seem easy, completely effortless. Despite it was so impressive. But here, Toby she isn't very good at it yet, and to me he is a little sloppy. Sound produced isn't awful, but certainly it isn't very good. And yet, maybe it's the fact that Amu isn't very good at this yet, but still trying her hardest regardless. Maybe that's what makes this private performance special. Serves as a reminder that matter how good Amu may be at certain things, she's definitely not perfect. There's a lot of stuff she can't do too. But even though she mustn't know this, she still continues to move forward and doesn't give up. I'm sure if I come back to this village again a couple of years later, Amu will have mastered the guitar. She'll definitely be a lot better, because Amu always tries her best. And though it may sound sappy, I think Amu really is amazing. So, how did I do? I know I'm not very good yet. Don't spare my feelings, okay? I want to know what somebody else thinks so I can improve. Well, sounds like the music itself wasn't too good. Yeah, I thought about as much, but you can't win them all. Next time I'll give it my all. Me and Gichan will... I gotta show the world what we're made of sometime. Fight on. This, me punches a fist in the air, face shining and filled with energy. I think Amu's strength is incredible. Even though I told her it wasn't good, she is able to smile like this, convinced that she can only get better. Kind of forward-thinking optimism isn't something I possess. It's not something I can do. Even when she was playing the guitar, though it didn't sound good, she wasn't as relaxed as usual. I always decided to get better, to improve, came through. All those strings, powerful emotions reached me. Reached my ears and they reached my heart. So, music wasn't good, but the emotions behind it were. But even if it wasn't so good, I think the performance was. I say this shyly, meekly, with my head hanging. Not entirely sure what I'm trying to say myself, but it's hard to verbalize the thoughts. Really? It's a little embarrassing. Huh? What are you talking about, Akchan? Well, it's okay. You don't need to give me some half-hearted compliment to make me feel better. If it didn't sound good, it didn't sound good. I can deal with that. I don't hurt my feelings. I'm a tough girl. No, I think even though the music wasn't good, the emotion behind it were. Eh? What are you talking about? I don't know. What am I talking about? But since I've already started talking, I can't just stop now. It's hard to put into words, but I think you're really incredible. You're always trying your hardest every day. You're always so determined. It's really amazing. I wish I could be more like that. Heart is pounding hard. It's on my chest. Maybe a little bit too fast. It must be why my face has turned so red. Because there's far too much blood flowing to my cheeks. Face feels so hot. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I think you shine just like the sun. But look at you, always trying your best, never giving up. It might sound silly, but pause, take a deep breath, then continue. I really do like you, Amu. Amu looks at me in surprise. Her lips part in a small O. Look back at her, my own face flushed. Wanting to avert my eyes, but finding myself unable to do so. These feelings that have been building up inside me over the past 2 days, I couldn't keep them inside anymore. So it ended up like this. Have I made a mistake? May look so shocked. What if this is too awkward? What if I ruined our friendship? If that ever happened, Akchan. His voice draws me out of my spiraling thoughts, bringing me back to reality. Unlike her usual tone, that voice, it's very soft, very gentle. Akchan, do you mean it? Wonder if I should try to make an excuse to deny what I said. I hate change after all. So why did I go and say something like that? But I can't just refute my true feelings. Not like that. Not right now. Yeah, I like you. Really? Yeah. Really? Like in, a more than friends kind of way? Maybe. I don't know. I don't really get crushes on people that much, but probably in a more than friends kind of way? Oh. Who's just there, staring at me in silence? Maybe she's lost for words. If you don't like me back, then I understand, and I'm sorry. It's just maybe I got a little bit carried away, and I'm kinda sleepy, and I missed you a lot, so when I finally saw you again, Chan, you idiot. Huh? I followed backwards, then flailing with a flop. Confused and disoriented, and I let out a very undignified yelp of surprise. I can't help it. Did that just really happen? Hi. Moo was lying on top of me. He is on top of me. On her bed. No. Now my face is turning bright red. So hot I can physically feel it burning. Ak-chan, you don't need to apologize, you idiot. Why are you trying to excuse your own emotions? Moron. Didn't mean to skip past that. I was just her saying Ak-chan. Moo continues to call me several variations of that one word for a while, but while hugging me tightly like a pink-headed limpet. This kind of embrace might be romantic. Moo wasn't pinning me down like that. I can't move. Now this, is this how fish feel when they get caught up in the nets of fishing boats? Able to escape no matter how much they thrash and jerk about? I think she knocked me down at a funny angle, forcing my legs underneath my body. Pins and needles prick out my legs, making me shudder. This isn't exactly the most comfortable position to be in. Moo, you're hurting me. Moo glares at me. Pink ponytail, now even more mussed up than usual, falls over her shoulder, brushing against my face. It tickles. Stupid. Even in this kind of situation, you're still trying to spoil the mood. Sorry. Don't apologize. I'm sorry. I just said not to. I had a nice mood and you're ruining it. Don't ruin the mood, stupid. Getting to lose all sensation in my legs. I feel like cold slabs of meat, completely detached from my torso. What's so romantic about this? I don't even know what's going on. 1 second and I'm telling Amu how I felt, and the next... Ak-chan, listen. I'm trying to tell you something important. Huh? What is it? Can you tell me when you're not sitting on me? His face turns red, then that obstinate look remains. No, I can't. I'll just tell you right now. It was a secret I was trying to keep inside for a long time too, you know? A little more sympathy for my maiden's heart. A secret? Yeah, a secret. But now that you told me that it wasn't a joke, was it? You weren't teasing me, were you? Huh? Does she really think I'd be mean as to toy with her feelings like that? No, it wasn't a joke. Then you really do like me? Yeah, I really do like you. Even now, when you're sitting on me and I can't feel my legs, I still like you. Huh? Really? You like me, even when I'm being assertive and annoying? Yes, even then. Guess by better judgment, I don't know about that. Seems pretty unlikely. Maybe you bumped your head when you went to the batting center? That's why you're saying this weird stuff? I don't think so. Or a helmet, remember? Oh yeah. I guess. And it's true, you know. I've always, thought you were an incredible person. I don't think so. I'm not credible. Not at all. I'm noisy and selfish, and sometimes I'm rude. Don't make an effort with my appearance. Not cute at all. I'm always sitting here making fun of you. I'm nothing at all like an ideal girl. Maybe that's true, but I'm not like an ideal guy either. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Maybe not. Wonder if we look foolish. We laying on top of me like this, both of us acting like embarrassed maidens from a girl's manga. Maybe a tiger hadn't fallen asleep, she'd laugh at us. That is, if cats could laugh, which they can't, so that was a pretty stupid thing to start thinking about. Why am I thinking about tiger anyway? Rain always does this. Runs off on random, unrelated tangents when I get nervous. That's just how I am, I guess. Might be shy, but Amu is always moving forwards. Even when she feels nervous or unsure of herself, she never gives up. That's probably why Amu is the one to make the first move. You know, Akchan, yes, I really like you too. Even though you always made fun of me. That's just the way I show my love. Well, it would be nice if at some point you could show it in a different way. That sounds kinda dirty, Achan. I didn't really mean it like that. But I don't get a chance to finish my sentence. My voice is cut off. Caught up by a warm, soft feeling. Moog gently presses her lips against mine. The back of my mind, clouded over with aches, pains, and flowering feelings, dimly register one thing. This is my first kiss, isn't it? Alright, lad. It's been nice talking to you again. Yes, it was nice talking to you too, sir. Sir, not this again. Mr. Jugasaki loves folding his arms. They really are big and hairy. They look completely different to mine, so pale and slender, they can be mistaken for girls. 12-year-old girls, no less. Now, you know I appreciate good manners. Shows good breeding. Ew. Does not need to be saying that to a 16-year-old. But you don't need to act that way around me, son. Son? That's when I Mr. Jugasaki's son. You know what I did earlier up that room? Coming to adopt a member of the Jugasaki family would surely end up creating a huge scandal. That happened, I'd never be able to live it down. I'd probably have to do that to myself. Right, I can find a length of rope long enough to hang myself. My god, did it turn depressing and dark quick. I told you yesterday, just plain old Kentaru will do. I'm not a fussy man, you see. So he says, I still can't quite bring myself to call him something so casual. Wouldn't feel right. So then I tried to change the subject. Thank you for letting me stay here. It's no problem. No problem at all. How helpful my daughter is of you. Look at Amu sheepishly. Down in the corner of the kitchen, her face slightly flushed. The Jigasaki knew how fond Amu and I had become to each other. I wondered if he'd still approve of me being a friend. He's a very overprotective father, and he really does have a very large forearms. Going his bad side, he could destroy me. Anyway. So tomorrow you're going home? Yes. Catch your train at 7 p.m. Ah, I see. It's a shame when you leave. Amu hasn't looked this happy in a long time. I think she really missed you. Dad, don't say something like that. I'm not your Amu. I'm my own person. Look at her going all defensive. Isn't that cute? Starting to feel flustered. What exactly does Mr. Jigasaki want to say to me? Is it a trap? Luckily Amu steps into the conversation before I'm able to say the wrong thing. Maybe she had a nightmare vision of the immediate future too. My body's still and lifeless on the floor. My neck broken in 3 different places, no less. I shudder. Again, is that foreshadowing? Dad, please. This isn't something you should ask one of my friends. Who? I don't see why not. He's been friends with you for so long. Must have seen something he liked. I don't know if that'd be your personality. Hey, that isn't funny. No, Mu isn't amused. Her dad sure is. Booming laugh fills the kitchen in like successive claps of thunder. I swear if he was any louder, the whole house would come falling down. Oh, don't worry, sweetheart, don't worry. I was just making a little joke. Well, it wasn't very funny, honestly. What did Mum ever say in you anyway? Women like men who make him laugh. That's something you should keep in mind, Amu. You need to learn how to take a joke. I can take a joke, but the jokes you make are never jokes, just personal insults. Yeah, I guess I see where Amu learns it from. Mr. Jigasaki, however, doesn't seem to hear Amu, or if he does, he ignores her. Turns and claps a large hairy hand on my shoulder. My knees buckle, my whole body sinking. Ow. I guess Amu has one thing in common with her dad, other than her hair. Neither of them seem to know their own strength. Well then, lad, I hope you can remain good friends with my Amu. Keep in touch even when you get back home, okay? Of course. I'll definitely keep in contact with her. Good. That's good. Mr. Jigasaki nods, smiling. I'm telling you, even if she denies it, Amu really does like you. Yeah, we know. Make sure you don't break her heart, okay? Yeah, why do I get the feeling that if we do, somebody's getting murdered. I don't know which one of you is gonna do it to me. Otherwise I'll break your skull. Yep, and there it is. At this, my face goes bright red. How could it be? Does Mr. Jigasaki already know? Does he already know that we're dating? I mean, it literally only just happened, so maybe he's more perceptive than I thought. Or maybe we were just a little more louder than we thought. At least he doesn't seem to disapprove, but it really was some threat. I don't want my skull to be smashed in. Look to Amu for help, eyes wide in distress. Still standing in the corner, hands on her hips. Looks distinctly unimpressed. Dad, those kind of threats are a little too much. If you keep talking like that, I might have to phone the police. Oh, don't be so silly. I'm just looking out for my little girl. Who could ever punish a father for caring too much? Oh, you'd be surprised, Dad. You really would be surprised. As I pad through the hallway of my grandparents' home, my hair dripping wet with hot water, eyes are drawn towards the phone sitting on the side. Inevitably, I start to think of Sakai. Wonder how she's doing, taking care of her younger siblings. Hopefully she hasn't snapped and torn them all limb from limb yet. Wonder if I should call her, just to see how she is. However, I eventually decide against it. I feel a little too overwhelmed after the events of today to even attempt to put my feelings into words. I can still hardly believe it happened myself, and I'm worried if I start to talk about it, it will turn out to have been one long feverish dream, just from soaking too long in the hot bath. Flush, pressing one finger against my lower lip. I can still feel it, even now. The sensation of Amu's lips against mine. Somebody had told me 2 days ago, as I was sitting on the train starting out the rolling fields, cloaked in the oncoming evening, that I was going to end up kissing Amu before the journey was over. I wouldn't have believed them. I would have laughed in their faces. Or their face. Well, no, that isn't true. I wouldn't laugh in anybody's face. That would be too mean. It's more likely I would have choked on my own tongue in surprise. Instead, which is distinctly more uncool, but also more like me. Just thinking about it is enough to make my heart skip a beat. I feel lighthearted, though I'm not sure whether that's from the bath, no matter how many hot baths I take, but he never seems to get accustomed to it, or from the memory of Amu's lips. Maybe it's both. But this, I suppose that means we're dating, right? We might be a little impetuous, but she wouldn't kiss me if she didn't mean it, and judging by what she said, she did mean it. It meant every last word. Can't process this properly standing around like this. I think I need to lie down. I'm sorry, Sakai. Hope you can forgive me for the sudden radio silence. Just need some time to think. Lying on my futon, staring up at the ceiling. Muscles are aching from the events of the day and I feel exhausted. Amu would tease me about my fatigue, calling me an old man, but my humble opinion, this day was rather hectic. I did a lot of things and I had a lot of fun. It really was a relaxing way to spend my last full day with Amu. Being with her always puts a smile on my face. A few dents in my spine, still, is a price I gladly pay, simply to spend some time with her. Tomorrow, I'll be spending more time with her. Before I left her house, she invited me to go hunting cicadas with her in the forest. Just like old times, as she said. I wonder, maybe I should invite Noelle too. I haven't had much time to talk with her as I would have liked, since I've been so busy catching up with Amu. That might be nice. And hopefully one of them isn't going to murder me in the forest while we're out there. I'd feel jealous rage. The three of us could all have fun together, hunting cicadas in the forest. Maybe Amu and Noelle could get closer. Maybe they could become friends. I hope that happens. I really want Noelle to make friends. Amu can be a fun person to be with, even if there is a distinct possibility she may have some ogre blood running through her veins. Why can't we all be friends anyway?